Well, good morning, and here we are, another day and another opportunity. Good morning to all of you, man. Let me just say, I'm super excited for another opportunity for us to come together, get into place, because, you know, mental real estate is something else, man. Every day of every week of every month of every year, mental real estate is still continuing on, making it happen, y'all. But guess what? I can't do it without y'all, so you already know how this works. So before I even get into my word, before I even get into what I got to say, let me go on and ask you guys the question, because I got to give it to you. I got to ask you the question, how was your weekend? I hope that your weekend was really fun-filled, full of spiritual gratitude, and many things that has helped you to grow, develop, and understand more about your mentality. When it comes to your mental real estate, there are no shortcuts. We got to make it happen whether we want to or not, because you know what? It is essential to know what we're doing in this time, in this day, in this age, in this moment. So how was your weekend? Did you spend time with someone that you love? Did you spend time with somebody that loved you back? Did you get an opportunity to share some things and learn from people that had an opportunity to love on you and feed your mentality, to feed you? And how did you help other people to grow? Because you know what? This is the vision. Mental real estate to helping you understand that thing about your perspective. And your thought of your mental real estate means absolutely everything. So we're going to continue to move forward. We're not going to waste a lot of time, but I just wanted to come in and just ask you guys before I even get started. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Mine, you know, it's funny. I always ask you about your weekend. Nobody says, DJ, Dr. Freeland, how was yours? Guess what? Mine was okay. I can't complain. I love it. To get an opportunity to come and talk to you guys is well worth the moment in the minute. So before we get started again, once again, I want to say to you all, thank you. Thank you for supporting mental real estate. It is a real opportunity for us to learn more. So today, no different. So, perspective of mental real estate, helping you understand the positive and negative contributors to your mindset. And what does that mean for you? Absolutely everything. So today's life application is no different. I can remember those times. My God, can we remember those times? It's not just about me, y'all. This is about you. This is about your community. This is about this country. This is about this entire world. Do you remember that time when we had to all go through the pandemic? Now, why am I bringing up something that's so sensitive, so touchy? And you know what? My heart goes out to everyone that has lost somebody in family relation or friendships through this total tragedy of that pandemic. But I can remember a time when we was going through the pandemic, and I was coming out of a speaking engagement in South Carolina, and I was driving home, and I can remember receiving a phone call talking about how all of the things in the stores were being vacated off the shelves. You guys remember that? When they was taking all the food off the shelves, everybody was going to get what I thought was the craziest thing in the world. And to this day, I still could never understand why everybody took all of the toilet paper. Now, here's what's crazy. They said, Doc, on your way back to the house, need you to pick up some stuff because I had to get some stuff for my kids. So I said, okay, I'm going to stop. So I stop off in Clarksville, Tennessee, and while I'm there, I go into a Sam's Club. Now, while I'm in Sam's Club, I'm going in and I'm trying to find what this issue of toilet paper. I was like, it should be no problem to get toilet paper, right? So if you remember those times during the beginning of the pandemic, everything went completely nuts. It went completely off the grid. Now, what was crazy about that is that as I went in there, I asked the associate, excuse me, can you tell me where your toilet paper section is? They said, sure it is. It's back there. You might want to hurry. So I go to the back and I'm seeing people coming up with their carts. Now, I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee, and they're coming up with their carts on their way to the register to check out. And it looked pretty decent, but I seen people with, maybe one thing. And, if you usually get one, it's going to last you a while. But then I seen this guy. Oh my God, the guy had to be standing close to 6'8", and he was tall. He had a basket, and in this basket, he had nothing but toilet paper from the bottom of the darn rack on the cart all the way to the top. Now, he was about 6'8" standing, but he took his hand and he had stacks of toilet paper to where he had his hand on top of them, pushing the cart and holding them all in his basket. Now, I looked at that man. I said, now that's a shame that he snatched all of them. All of those ones he snatched. Now, when I get over there to the aisle and I'm looking to get me a thing of toilet paper, because I'm assuming that, okay, he took a lot, but I hadn't made it back there yet. But at the same time, I can remember just going over there in that area, and I said, hey, where's the toilet paper? And people were, it was crazy. It was nothing I had ever seen before. It's something you would see out of a movie. The way they was just hoarding and taking, and I mean, it was ridiculous. So in the midst of taking, I seen maybe 2 left on a pile. So when I'm on my way to get them, the people took them. And I ended up leaving with nothing. But before I left, as I looked and noticed that they were all gone, I turned and looked at this lady who was standing there, and she was just a small, innocent lady, very frail, but she was looking to get some toilet paper. Now, this woman had about 5 kids. She had about at least 4 to 5 kids, so she had a family. Now, I felt bad because I looked at her and she was like, I just want one. She said, I just want one. And the people were snatching them. People were snatching all of that toilet paper. Now, you know, Sam's Club, you can get one of those and at least probably make it about a month. You know, it depends on your household size, but you can get one of those things. There's plenty. But the lady just wanted one, and everybody snatched them, and they ran out. The terrifying part of that is that people were in complete scarcity. They were terrified. They weren't even angry. They felt like this was their only option to get their hands on it, and they took it. Now, this is Monday Mental Real Estate. So do you guys remember now? Now I'm going to go somewhere, because I can remember those days as a kid when I would go over and someone would try to offer me something. And I can remember that. And I can remember when you went as a child and you went to give to somebody, but they took it out of your hand. Y'all remember that, when you was trying to be nice and you went to give it to somebody and they took it out your hand? Now, here's what's crazy is that when I can remember growing up and doing something like that, I never understood when as a child, you would never understand when someone went to give you something, how you took it from their hand. So a lot of times we didn't understand as kids that we would snatch it from their hand. Now, I didn't understand what snatching was, but I can remember when someone would say, give it back. Y'all remember that? When you took something for someone, but you didn't take it correctly, and they said, give it back. Oh, no. We're going, what did they say? We're going to try this again. So when they reached out to you and you put your hands on it, sometimes as kids, we just take it. Thank you. And we would run off. But we would do these things with so much excitement a lot of times, we didn't realize and understand that there was a code of conduct even behind somebody giving you something. Because there was a way of taking from someone without snatching. But we didn't understand the concept of snatch. We just knew to take it, grab it, and go. Because if they was kind enough to give it, we wanted it. Now, this is what's crazy is that when they would hold on to it, when I would come back, they say, give it back. And I would give it to them, and then they say, we're going to try this again. And they stick their hand out, and I would put my hands on it, and they would keep their hands on it until they let go. And then when they let go, I pulled my hand back, and then I said, thank you. And you know what they said? They said, that's better. That's better. Now, what is the lesson that you learned from understanding how to take something from someone? Because when we were kids, we didn't have no problem taking things, but we didn't understand that if you were snatching stuff from people, they could get you in some trouble. Now, let me get right to it, because when we're talking about your mental real estate, the positive and negative contributors to your mindset, today is something I never really understood growing up. But as a grown up now and understanding how that is and how it works for other people, not just kids, us as individuals and adults, what does it mean when people snatch from you? Man, have you ever got upset because somebody snatch, and you like, wait a minute, what did you just do? No, we're not finna do that. But check this out. I want to say this again. What does it mean, and why do people snatch? People snatch objects for a variety of reasons, often related to aggression, entitlement, or impatience. Let me say that. It can be a way to assert dominance. Listen now. It can be a way to assert dominance. Uh-oh. No wonder I got slapped upside the head a few times for snatches from somebody. Express frustration and simply grab something quickly without regard for social norms. Additionally, snatching can be a form of criminal behavior like snatch or theft. Now here's some of the reasons. Listen to this. Some of the reasons people would snatch, and I didn't know all this stuff growing up, and I'm sure you didn't either, but this is what mental real estate is all about. Aggression and dominance. Snatching can be a way to exert power over someone. Wow. Indicating a desire to control or intimidate. Snatching? Wow. Now that's funny because our parents would not tell us these lessons. We would just be disciplined by that, by us not understanding. There's no way they could teach us other than the demonstration and the action. Check this out. Now, impatience and entitlement. Some individuals snatch out of a sense of entitlement, believing they have a right to the object or that their needs are more important than the other person's. Wow. Imagining running in that Sam's Club looking for toilet paper during the pandemic when people were losing their mind and people felt what? They felt entitled. Like they had the right to it because you didn't. Now check it out. Frustration and anger. Snatching can be a way to express negative emotions like frustration or anger, especially when someone feels wronged or slighted. Criminal activity. Snatch theft, the type of robbery, involves forcefully taking someone's belongings, often involving a quick grab and run. Now, here we go. Childish behavior. Some children may snatch out of lack of social skills or impulse control. Let me say that one again. Childish behavior. Some children may snatch out of lack of social skills or impulse behavior. Now, how many times did you get hit upside the head as a kid because you snatched something from somebody, but you didn't quite realize how that social skill worked? And you was disciplined for the action without understanding why this happened. I can remember those times of being knocked upside the head. Some of those times I didn't know. But here we go. A need for speed. In certain situations, people might snatch something to quickly obtain it, perhaps if they are in a hurry or if the object is of immediate importance. Now, here's a good one. Listen, protecting someone. A parent or guardian might snatch something from a child to prevent them from getting hurt or doing something harmful. Now, all of those things in the concept of why people would snatch from you. Or why people snatch in general. Now, I like this for various reasons because when it comes to snatching, we never understood the concept. I mean, there's so many different ways and levels to this thing. If these things were discussed when we were kids, a lot of us would probably be better off or have more sense if we didn't get it knocked out of us. Because I can remember going through those motions and emotions of not really knowing why I would be in trouble, not really understanding when they said, give it back to me, or, let's try this again, because I had to teach my kids like you had to teach your kids, like someone had taught you to understand when it comes to doing these things. When you want to give something to someone, there's a way that they should receive it. There's a way that they should take it. Now, mental real estate. Now, what happens if we talk about all of these things about why people snatch? Aggression and dominance, impatience and entitlement, frustration and anger, criminal activity, childish behavior, needs for speed, and protecting someone. What happens if all of these things are applied to your personal life, your mentality? There are things that we've achieved, but there are things that we've received. And if there are things that we've received, there were things that were given. If it was given, it was a blessing. And if it was a blessing, a lot of times we get so overjoyed, so excited. Now, the example for that is remember when you went and sat for that job interview and they ask you, what is it that you bring to this agency that's going to be something that we can take away, that we can grow from? Is there something what do you feel is a good quality? And you lay it all out on the line and you tell them, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I can make this happen. I can do exactly what you're asking me. I'm a very hard worker. And then what happens? You go into that job and you sit down and you do all the things that they've given you because you told them verbatim that you are excellent in this skill set, and you lay it all out in this skill set. You impress them all. First 3 months you impress them all. But what happens after 6 months when all of those qualities that you still obtain seem to water down? When all of those abilities that you have still exist, but you don't use them the same way you used to? What happens to that when it starts to diminish other people's vision of you. They see your labor, they see your work, but they don't see your ethic like they did initially. Isn't it something how when we get into a position in our lives where we are moving and elevating, because you know what, we snatched the position that we wanted, we got it, we killed it. But after 6 months, it seems to water down. It doesn't have the same vibrance. Don't feel the same. You know more people, you know more things. And the thing about it, knowledge, is that when you obtain knowledge, you have to apply it where it's necessary. So let me ask you the question. When God decides to give you something in your life that is going to elevate your life, because it's something when you remember those times of giving your life to Christ, but we'll walk up in there and you know what? We're a new creature. We're crying. Oh my God, we've been touched. We've been moved. And we throw our hands up and we shout and all those things. And when it comes to giving your life, you give it. And all of a sudden you've been spoken to. You've been blessed. There's going to be great things in your life. And you're so excited that you can't wait to get started. And then when you get started, you realize this race is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And the longer you run, the tireder you're going to get. Let me say this again. The longer that you run, the tired you gonna get. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I want to elevate somebody and I want to inspire somebody today to know that when you are dealing with a pressure area in your life where there's the presence that has moved you into a different direction, there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some times in your life where you are snatching what you're trying to obtain because it is available to you. But what you don't realize is that when it's available to you, it may not be the time for you to activate what has been given. That's funny. You remember as kids when they told you, I'm going to give you this candy, but don't open it, what? Until you get home. Now, as a child, it would be very impatient to sit there in the car and riding home and you looking at it and you, ooh, man, I wish I could eat this candy. Mom, can I have this candy right now? What did she tell you? She told you to wait till you get home to open it, didn't she? Yes, ma'am. All right, then you sit there and you wait. But you're so anxious. Sometimes you peel it back and just look at it. And you close it back up. And then you go on and get in the house and listen. But when you get there and at the moment that it's time to open it and eat it, it is the best. It is the best candy you have ever had. Now, why am I saying this? Because in our gifts, in the activation of our faith, sometimes God is going to give you things. No, not sometimes. He's giving you things. Sometimes we have received things because not everybody receives. But when you're in the midst, in the audience of the reception, when it's time to give it out and we're giving it to you, some of us will take it. We will snatch it. And when we snatch it, we're going to run with it. We're going to snatch it and we're going to run with it. How many times have you felt like that? Because you were so excited and into the moment of the blessing that you will snatch it and you will run with it. But what if God is saying to you at a certain time that, hold on now, I gave it to you. Where are you going? Where are you going? You ran out of here, but you didn't quite receive all that I had for you. But now that you've gotten it and you've got down in the community and you've gotten into your areas of development and you're starting to talk to the people, you're starting to either minister or you're starting to speak motivation and life into other people, you wonder why after you've done this for about 6 months, it seems as if things have gone flat. You're still motivated. You still have the blessing. You still have the gift. But why do things seem so flat? Is it possible that you snatched what was given to you? Because here's the thing. As I said earlier, when I tried to take something from somebody, not realizing I snatched it, what did they say? They said, give it back. So a lot of times when we're running with that blessing and we're running with that impartation that we're trying to give into people's lives, we're running with something that was given to us, but we didn't receive it correctly, although we took it. And then as we're running and we're getting into these areas where we're speaking life into people, we're developing so many people, we're moving in so many directions. And guess what? After about 6 months, you start wondering what happened. Where did it go? Well, it didn't go anywhere. The whole time you took it and ran off, the person who gave it to you, and if God gave you your blessing, he's standing right there and he looked at you as you took it. You were so excited. He wants you to have it. You ran off with it. You have elevated people. You've seen lives be changed because now you have realized the difference within your own life. But you didn't realize and you forgot to look back when you ran, because sometimes he might be standing there saying, wait a minute. Bring it back. Bring it back. Because when you bring it back, there's a reason why. Because it didn't mean it wasn't for you to have. You just didn't receive it correctly. So when God wants to do something for you, and he's telling you after you snatched it and you ran, it didn't mean it wasn't yours. It didn't mean it didn't belong to you. It didn't mean you wasn't supposed to talk to people. You did everything you were supposed to do with it because it was meant for you. But what you didn't realize is that a lot of times when we take things from God because he gives it to us, he is so favorable. He will give you all of the blessings and the desires of your heart. Seek his face. Seek his face and you will see for yourself. But when we move in a direction that becomes more carnal, we start taking from ourselves to try to give to other people instead of understanding how to receive. So that's funny, because if you snatch things, that's funny, but when it's all said and done, you take it back to him. And when you take it back to him, he's going to say what? He's going to say what? He's going to say, now let's try this again. You brought it back to me. I had to fine tune you. So a lot of times when you think you're stuck, you think that you may not be moving in the direction you should be. You feel like your gift has fallen off because you don't feel that anointing. You don't feel that spiritual connection. You don't feel the drive or the energy to continue with what you're doing because you believe in it so much. But he's standing there saying, bring it back. You took off too fast. Now I gave it to you. It's yours, but you ran off. Now, come on, bring it back. Give it to me. Give it to me. And a lot of times when you give it back to him and he says, let's try this again, what you didn't realize, you have renewed your purpose. You have renewed your passion. That's funny, because when it comes back to you, it's not going to come back the same. It will be the same initiative. It will be the same thing, that the same blessing. It will be the same thing that you was looking for, that you finally received, and now you can expand on that. But you know the difference is going to be, it's not what you say, it's who told you to say it. This is different today. It's not what you said, it's who told you what to say. A lot of times it says what? Gird my tongue so that I don't offend anyone. Gird my tongue to keep me from, let me watch my mouth. Because if I say the right thing to the right person, the correct impact is made. Now, I can give you an initiative. But what you thought when you took it from him, when you snatched it out of his hands, you've seen the difference. You've seen the people. And your impact is being felt. People know who you are. They know your name. But here's the thing, and it feels great. But like I said, after 6 months, you see that thing just kind of fade away, and you still feel good because you know what you've done with it. But we're looking at an impact of 1,000 lives. What if God created your impact to reach millions? What if your impact that was given to you was created to reach millions? Now here's the carnal mind. I don't even know 1 million people. I don't see 1 million people in my lifetime. How can what I say, reach 1 million people? If you listen, Dr. Michael Freeland has his own way of saying to you, changed minds, CHANGED, changed minds, changed lives. Did you hear that? Changed minds, changed lives. Now, what does that mean? It has to take a changed mind to understand how to change lives. We couldn't go into this with the same mentality, could we? But we could if we chose to. But here's the thing. You took it, you ran with it, you did good, you did excellent, I love it. But at the same time, he's saying, bring it back. So when you think about your initiative, and when you think about what God is doing for you in your life, when you think about where you want to be in this life, when you think about the impact you want to create, because listen, all of us have a measure of service to give, all of us. None of us are excused from our level of service that we have to give to this life. None of us. We are not exempt from what we're supposed to do. So stand in the gap of where you need to be so that you can receive. If you can receive, then one thing that we know for sure, 2 things for certain, you're going to be a blessing. Not only a blessing to yourself, but like I said before, changed minds, changed lives. How can you change a life if your mind has never been shifted? If your perspective has never been taught? Because a lot of times in moving, we like to see it, we get excited, and we'll snatch it. We'll take it, and we'll run with it. But what you don't get is a lot of times in the midst of your movement, there may be a calling, but this might be a recall. That means, listen, I got you. I see what you're doing, but bring it back to me because I want to do this correctly. I want to do this to where you can understand in a different way. It doesn't mean I messed up what I gave you. It just means we need to fine tune your mentality to really gain the concept of what really belongs to you. Because if you do, you think changed minds will change lives? Nah, the world hasn't seen what you have yet, but they will gain everything that you have when you understand it's not about snatching. It's just about taking it. He's going to give it to you. You're going to receive it. But don't snatch it, because you know what happens when you snatch? We get in a hurry. And when you snatch, let me say this again, when you snatch, you have a sense of what? Entitlement. You feel like it belongs to you, huh? I gave it to you, but you took it. Now that you take it, it's mine. You can't take it away from me. Get away from me. Don't touch me. Because it's mine. I'm entitled to it because I took it. You didn't get it. This is how they did it in Sam's Club with toilet paper during the pandemic. Don't touch it. It's mine. It belongs to me now. Go get your own. But if you bring it back to the master that gave it to you, give the idea back to the one that gave it to you, give the initiative back to the one that taught you, give that mentality back to the one that's learning you. When you receive it back, oh my goodness. Let me pause for a second, because let me just say this, because I know from experience how you will fall flat on your face, how your initiative will dig you down into a ground that is deep enough nobody can understand where you're at. I know what it feels like to be in that place and in that position and entertain that thought that this might be it. But let me give you this shot in the arm today. It's not it. And that's not all. Now, why am I telling you that? Because it's not it. And that's not all. So find what's within you to continue. When you feel that's funny how you can have a campfire and that fire will smolder and you'll watch it go out. Unless you intentionally put it out, it smolders very slow. And it's funny because even though sometimes we're buried underneath some of our shame, some of our guilt, we're buried underneath some of the transgressions of life. Sometimes we're buried within all of these things, the depression, the anxiety, we're buried within it. Those are what I call the ashes. And it's funny because if you look through a campfire, when you dig through it, a lot of times you think that the fire's gone out. But if you kick those ashes around a lot, eventually you're going to see what? You're going to see the flame still burning within the ashes. And if you can get that flame within the ashes to start producing that flame, once that flame ignites, you can ignite an entire brand new fire just underneath all of the ashes. So don't forsake the fact that the ashes in your life are going to give you the problems, going to give you the trouble, going to hold you accountable to your anxiety and your depression. Realize those are the ashes. Kick those ashes aside, because if you look down far enough into that fire where it was once burning bright, you're going to see just a few nuggets of that flame still ignited, and it's buried within the ashes. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to do something with me today, because I know mental real estate is impactful in your life. Allow yourself to grow so we can go, because mental real estate is not going anywhere. We got to develop the mentality of others, but understanding that perspective is a huge piece of it. Don't let me play shame in your game. Don't let me allow you to do something that you know you shouldn't be doing. Move in the direction that is given to you. But when it's given to you and it's time for you to receive, don't snatch it. Because you might get that recall and say, bring it back. Give it back. We're going to try this again. This time, you're going to get it right. This time, you're going to do it better. This time, you're going to accelerate. This time, you're going to bring people with you. And this time, the elevation will be evident so we can stop looking at the 1,000 and reach the million, because you are that person. You are that person that knows how to dig in deep, that knows how to reach people, that knows how to seek out somebody to get their life to be prosperous, perspective, thought, and driven to know where their initiative is taking them. And it's going to be your word that will shift the life of somebody else, that will shift the life of others, and you may not ever see that million, but it doesn't mean you didn't reach them because you don't see them. God bless you all. This is Monday Mental Real Estate, another opportunity with Dr. Michael Freeland to help you understand, man. Don't be snatching. Just take it. Just take it. And it makes life so much easier, guys. Don't snatch, just take, and you're going to see the elevation in your life continue to grow. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. Let me shout some people out. Yolanda Shaheed, what's going on? I see you. Good morning. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have yourself a great day and a safe week. Let's move on. Ebony Saunders, what's going on? I see you, my assistant. Y'all know what it is. We're going to rock out. We're going to keep doing it. We got this thing hopping. My brother, Robert Lyons, what's going on? I see you, my friend. It's good to see you in. I appreciate you so much. Jetta Thompson, what's going on, mother? I see you. Thank you for being in here. Shalina Brown, my great friend, as always. Keep on doing that thing. I appreciate you. It's good stuff, y'all. And I'm telling you, if I don't see you in here, who else I got in here? I'm trying to get everybody, but if I don't see you, charge it to the head, not the heart. I love you all. Thank you so much for taking your time out. Last but not least, my life's blood, my mother. Mama, thank you for being in here as always, supporting your son, doing everything it takes. Boy, I tell you, my mom is religiously faithful, isn't she, y'all? Mama always there. It doesn't matter. There's been a couple times she said, baby, I overslept. But my mama don't miss, y'all. So, Mama, thank you for being in here. Thank you for your prayers, your support. Let's keep this thing going. So, everyone, have yourself a great day, a safe week, and remember, Mental Real Estate is going to always be here with or without me. It ain't going nowhere, y'all. I'm building this thing, and I'm building this thing to sustain, because the life that we live is the life that we give. Keep giving life, y'all, so that they can keep living. God bless you all. Take care. We'll talk soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. It's good stuff. I love it. We're going to keep it going, though. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.